The dumbest thing I ever did was I went home with a guy that I met at emo night. And like this guy.
Were you wearing this outfit?
Something.
Are we not?
Something
did we like
similar.
accidentally like dress in the same
Something
sort of like
similar.
gothy 90s thing?
I'm worried that like I'm gonna miss like a paper, and then my kid will.
They take your
they'll
kid away.
take it away. Yeah.
They're like, oh, you gave this up. You didn't sign the thing that said I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
Talk to a girl. Crack baby.
Crack baby.
When I heard she was a crack baby, because I did already like her.
Yeah.
I mean, she got me pretty quick. Hi guys, welcome to Anniewood episode 97. I have my girl Kat Timpf in from New York. She has a new book out. She is thriving. She is making a baby come aliving. There is a baby in her stomach. We talk about how weird it is she's pregnant. We talk about a lot of things. We really girl out. I love her so much. It was very fun to have her on. Check out, you can see the uncensored episode. We definitely had to edit out any mention of anything that has anything to do with what her other career is because you get in trouble for doing that. But anyway, you'll know what I mean if you check out patreon.com/Annie Lederman is where you can find the uncensored version and some other content. We're doing the Robbie Hoffman, Marie Kondo on Patreon. And remember to lean towards the light and not the darkness. Choose the light. I am on the road. You know I love it. I love, love, love to be on the road. You can see me tonight, September 12th in Eugene, Oregon at the Olson Run Comedy Club. Then the rest of the weekend, I'm going to be in Tacoma, Washington. You can see me on September 17th for the next Anniewood and Friends at the Comedy Store. We have Patton Oswalt, we have Harlan Williams, and we have Robbie Hoffman and many more amazing comics to be added. So get your tickets before that sells out. I will be at Skankfest at the end of the month. So come see me be on acid there and try to do comedy on mushrooms. I'll be in Naples, Florida at Off the Hook Comedy Club, October 10th, October 11th and 12th. I'll be in Tampa, Florida at Side Splitters, one of my favorite clubs. 18th and 19th of October, I'll be at the House of Comedy in Bloomington, Minnesota at the wonderful Mall of America, my favorite place. I'll be in Madison, Wisconsin, November 1st and 2nd at Comedy on State. And then I'm doing one night only, November 3rd, Sunday in Chicago at the Den Theater. Then November 22nd and 23rd, I will be in Boston at Laugh Boston. I can't wait to see you guys. Go to annielederman.com/shows for tickets. And follow me on Instagram, the Patreon, and all that other good stuff. All right, enjoy the show.
Welcome to Anniewood.
Hi guys, welcome to Anniewood episode 96. Oh my God, I never get it right. I did it. I have my friend Kat Timpf here.
Hi.
She's a New York Times best-selling author. She has been seen for many years, or like 10 years on Gutfeld. Yeah. Are you still on it?
Yeah, I still am.
She was on Gutfeld for 10 years, the Libertarian Voice, balancing out these crazy people.
Yeah.
And she just finished doing a book tour where she did tons of stand-up and hilarious stories. And she decided that she would just do it again with her other brand new book.
Yeah.
And a new tour coming out.
New tour coming up.
And the magical journey into motherhood.
Yeah, and a baby, which is, it's so weird. It's
Yeah.
weird. I know it's the most normal thing you can do. And people are like, well, it's not that. I'm like, no, but it is weird to me. It's weird that there's like a little like alien.
No, it's weird to me too.
Like whenever I see I'm like, oh my God.
It's
like,
very weird.
it's strange.
And you're like different, right? You're hungrier.
I'm
you're
hungry all the
tired.
time. I'm tired all the time. I have boobs for the first time. I've
Just-
never had boobs. I was out to a rush. Like I was out to a restaurant recently and was walking back from the bathroom and, not wearing a bra, just like had been out for a walk with my husband and the dog. And some guy was like looking at me and I was like, oh my God, does he like know who I am from the show? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to see anyone right now. I don't look. And then I realized he was just staring at my
You're like, this has never happened to me.
because that had never happened to me in my whole life. So it didn't even click that was a thing that could happen. I was like, oh, he's looking at my boobs.
Yeah, I think sometimes if people are looking at my boobs, they're going, is this like, did she start the surgery? Like, is she?
That's where I was at.
Or they're like, maybe like a nipple's actually hanging out. Like there's some actual.
Yeah, I
areola.
had like nipples stuck to a rib cage before I got pregnant.
I have like a tiny bit of meat. Like a tiny bit,
Yeah.
But who knows? But okay.
You just gotta get pregnant.
Did you mean to do it?
Okay, so here's the thing. Yes and no.
Right.
Like I went off birth control, so
Okay.
I know that's can get you pregnant.
Yeah.
But like you also don't feel like it will.
Yeah,
or
you're
maybe
like, whatever.
because
Yeah.
I mean, not to brag, but I've been having for a long time,
Yep.
right? I'm 35 years old. And you all this time and you don't get pregnant. And I've been on birth control. I also had a doctor be like, you probably can't get pregnant
They always
without medication.
Why do they always say that to
I don't know.
everyone?
I don't
I feel
know.
like everyone has been given that and they get pregnant. And then the people they don't tell that to are like doing IVF for years.
And we were planning on starting IVF. So I was like, okay. So I was just living my life.
Oh my God.
And I just like didn't feel good.
Yeah.
I was crying a lot and I boobs. I started having boobs.
Yeah.
I was sick. And then I took a test and it was, positive. And then my husband, you met Cam.
Yes, I love Cam.
He didn't believe me.
Yeah.
He was like, it was, you think of it as being this amazing moment that you're going to look back on for your whole life. He was kind of just like, I don't really see the line. And he like rolled over and went back to sleep.
That's so funny. But also, don't you think it's like maybe second you're excited?
Yeah.
First, that's so scary.
It's scary.
And I know it's normal or whatever. And like what you were saying, it's like, it should feel normal. Should it?
Right.
Should it feel normal?
Like, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Like people, like I'm tired all the time. I'm emotional. I'm an unhinged person naturally.
Yeah, I was going to say me too. I think that's why we connect.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not helpful. Like I'm also off. I've been on stimulants always for ADHD. I'm off of that. I'm completely unhinged.
Which Sims were you on?
I was on Vyvanse.
Oh, Vyvanse.
But I was
fancy.
But I was like a lifer. I was on Ritalin when I was 5.
And they put me on Ritalin young too.
And but you didn't keep with it.
Once I learned you could crush it up and snort it, things changed.
Okay,
I started using it in different ways. And then, I never wanted to be reliant on things, but I had an early call today. So I took a little quarter of an Adderall, but I would never take it regularly because I just get tight jaw. Like there's too many, I'm already too tight. So it always made me more tight.
Yeah. I don't know, but
I'm so tight. Actually, I'm so sorry. I am very tight.
I've had a hard time like managing my emotions. I mean, but it's like he's used to it, but I'll just overreact extreme. Like he'll be like, can you pick this up, clean this up over here? And I'm like, I'll just move out then. If you don't want to live with me anymore. It's like, that's crazy. But then I'll be like, sorry, my bad. He's so patient. I don't know why he is.
He's very cool.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
When I met him. We met at Tim Dillon's Hamptons party last year. We missed, there was one this year.
I know, I was here.
It was disgusting that we missed it.
I know.
It makes me sick, actually.
I know, it's sad. I wanted to go, but
I called him, I was like, can we change the date? Like, it was like, I was like, you got to check in with your girl.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it sucked and was terrible.
Because we weren't there.
And the coolest girls weren't there. But it was very weird when we went there. Because it was like you, me, the Red Scare girls, Louis Anderson, Louis C.K., and then just Tim's and Dr. Drew and Susan.
Dr. Drew and Susan were there.
And then just Tim's like crazy high school friends.
His friends from high school.
Long Island.
Yeah, I came with Dr. Drew and Susan actually. And then Tim just walked up to Drew and was like, Drew, there's a lot of addicts here.
I know. Drew was like digging in with everyone. He was like, who can I get?
Well, I call Drew every time I have a problem.
Oh, I call him. He should never give me his phone number.
No, I know. Me too.
I call him. He'll be like, hello. And I'm like, oh my God, are you on the East Coast?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, it's like 6. It's like 3 a.m. or something.
Well, I don't know any other doctors.
I don't know. There's no doctor that talks to me. There's no doctor. I don't want to set up an appointment, see if you take my insurance. I want to call you. Yeah. But I will call him about things. I'll call him and be like, no, it's fine. What is it? What is it? And I'm like, no. I don't want to say because it's so not. And he'll go, let's just say it. And I go, is vaping bad? And he's like, I'll call you tomorrow. Like, it'll always be like the dumbest thing that's,
Yeah. I mean, I called him like, because I had in July when I was pregnant and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have an OB yet. And I called him and he was like, you're pregnant? Like, I'm like, you got to tell me what to do. He's like, you need to call your doctor. Like, I don't know. Like,
I hate that.
But I mean, I'm like, you're
Drew,
my doctor.
You're my doctor, daddy. I project so many things on you.
Like, who's your primary care physician? Dr. Drew.
It's Dr. Drew.
But actually.
But it kind of is. But I'm also like, can it be? Can I just give you my insurance?
I know. But it's also like, you answer my text messages. So at what point is that not on you?
He likes it. He enables us.
He does. Absolutely.
I think he likes that I call him Dr. Zaddy.
Yeah.
He's everything.
Mm-hmm.
He checks all the boxes. I know, but that was fun. Okay, wait. So this book it's your second book. And I want to like kind of delve into just as a creative that doesn't seem to have the same work ethic as you. What is it like to write a book? And your first book, like you had the idea for a long time. Did someone come to you? Like how long did it take? Was it hard?
So So this second book I had the idea for when I was on my way to the tour, starting the tour for the second book. Just because it's something that I've been dealing with for a while where it's like, okay, so I'm on Fox, but I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat either. I'm just neither.
Right.
And so I'll get from viewers that, you know, for not being conservative enough, or if I make fun of Trump or something like that, I'll get the hate mail for that. But then there's some people on the other side that won't even talk to me because I work at Fox. And I feel like that's not a unique thing. It's like, if you even say one thing, let's say you post a clip where you're saying one thing where you're making fun of Kamala, then everyone's like, oh, well, you love Trump. And it's like, no, just the one thing that you say doesn't mean that you think all these other things.
Of course.
You can make fun of everybody. You can have this different collection of views, right? And I think we're really kind of losing that. So I wanted to write this book because it's getting worse, sadly. It's definitely getting worse.
It's crazy. I wanted to tell you this. So when I was telling you earlier, we were in the Poconos. So we went on a family vacation in the Poconos with my family. And my parents are very liberal. They're not like very active. It's not like they're like campaigning or anything like that. But I was just brought up in a liberal household. And my parents, by the way, got me in. It's like, how much danger I was in being brought up in that liberal of a household. They were just like, everyone's safe. I'm like, they're not. They're like, give everyone a chance. I'm like, not that one. Not that guy. Shouldn't have been my babysitter. But so they, and then my dad, like, he just was he's like very like Trump triggered, you know, like if anything is mentioned, he gets very upset. Plus he's 83 years old. I'm like, Dad, like, you're in the evening of life. Like, take a walk, look at the trees. Like, why do you care about this so much? And then it's like his sister's very into Trump. Like, so it's like
everyone's together.
Well, they're not together. Like, we're not all together on the trip, but it's just, I'm just saying, like, in his life, he has a strain with his sister because they have political differences where it's like so weird. It's like, you guys are in your 80s. Like, let's not worry about this. But anyway, so we're on this trip and we're driving. The main trip is just you hang out with the kids. There was a pool at the house with the pool, or you're going to Walmart. Okay, so my dad wanted to go to Walmart every time. He likes going on the trip. So Todd and I are taking my dad to Walmart basically the entire time. And there's a store that's like Trump merch store on the side of the road. Yeah. So we're like, all right, we're gonna take my dad to the Trump store and film it. And we had like a little hidden camera and stuff. And we took him there and he was like, I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in. And it's like, just come on, let's go in.
What's going to happen?
Yeah, let's
You're
go
not going to catch it.
Of course. And like, let's just go in. And, you know, we're walking around, we're looking at the stuff and we're just kind of like laughing, having a good time. My dad is like, and by the way, these are some rural people. There's like eye patches. There's like missing teeth. Like, it's not like, I'm not like, there's no fear. Like, I'm like, Dad, you're not like afraid of anyone here. Yeah. And as he's leaving, he goes, you know what they are? They're just people. I'm like, yeah. And my dad's like a sweet guy. It's like for him to even have been brought into that. And you're right. I think it's the media does it. The candidates are doing it. Yeah. Pitting us against each other. I would never talk. I don't ever. I'm definitely like more in the middle. But I would never go on stage and be like, you're an idiot and you're smart, but you're dumb. Yeah, but people fighting, it's so common with people, you know, fighting with people that they know in their real life over these politicians that have no idea that you exist. Yeah. They don't care about you. And it's people like, that's crazy being in your 80s and not, you know, talking to your sibling. And they talk, but it's like they're like activating each other and it's on, both of them are doing it. Yeah. And it's also like, there's like this, I think, you know, it does become like sports teams, right? Yeah. And people are obsessed with it. And it feels like football season. And they're like, we got to talk about this. You know, there's like, no one has anything else to talk about. No. And it's going to be, and it's very serious. Like if people will be like, listen, if this person wins, then we're done. Right. And everything's done. And it's just like not true. I just feel completely zen about either way. Yeah, I kind of do. I'm like, I wake up and I vote for myself to have a good day. I kind of do too. I really do. I don't like, it's not, but I understand why politicians do it because it's like, if vote for me or the whole world's going to end is a little more motivating for people, but people actually believe it. Yeah, I know. And whoever ends up losing this, that people are going to blame me. Like everybody always blames, if you don't have a team that you're really, the other team will blame you. Well, you're just in, like being in Fox News must be like, why? Because you're just like, it's a targeted demographic. So you're like you're on a side, not being on the side, which is actually I don't like to throw this word around because I think it's kind of gay, but you're quite brave. Thanks. You're going in there being like, I actually am not. Well, it's crazy because people will say things to me sometimes like that I'm like a traitor. And I'm like, I never pledged allegiance to Trump in my life. So I don't know what I'm a traitor. Or they're like, you're a rhino. I'm like, no, I'm actually not a Republican in name either. But the thing is, there are more, like
going on this last tour and then this tour, I'm sure will be the same thing. There's so many more normal people than you would think because these are Fox viewers that are coming out to my shows.
Right.
And they're coming to my show on purpose. They know it's my show and they know that, you know, I'm not on either side, that I've never voted for Trump. I don't plan to vote for Trump. And they're cool with it. They're down to laugh and just have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there's so much stuff that, you know, just everyone's got in their lives. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking about having a baby. I'm thinking about
You're considering it?
well, I'm thinking about like having a baby.
I
Like there's gonna
know.
be a baby in my apartment.
Yeah.
Like that's the weird thing. Like you
Yeah.
get pregnant and you think about that. Maybe it's just me, but you don't think about like the baby's gonna come out.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna need things from me.
And it's going to be for a very long
Forever.
time.
That's the thing. And it's gonna get older.
And it's just,
And it's gonna be like and like you don't even know if it's gonna suck or not.
yeah.
Like this kid could be like horrible.
I know. And I think like, I want to think in my head that we have control over how our children will be, but
Yeah.
we don't. I think that's why there's always so much angst between parents and kids because
Mhm.
that's just not the case.
Like what if my kid like really like is really into like sports and like I have to go to like a game for like outdoor sports.
I know, but what if they turned you into a sports mom?
Yeah.
I could see you at a sports event,
at a sports event.
like making Rice Krispie treats or
See,
something.
I could
and
not.
selling them.
I could not.
But it's like, how do sports even happen in New York City? I
That's
don't even
true.
know.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like
Is there a field in New York City anywhere?
yeah, I haven't even thought about that. I feel like I
Where
should
is a soccer field for children in New York City? Are there? Am I dumb?
No, I haven't thought about that. I feel like I'm supposed to be like enrolling my kid in kindergarten now or something. Because
there are
everyone
weird
in New
things,
York
yeah.
is so like, and everyone's like, so what are your plans? I'm like, I don't really have one yet. I have exactly about a month and a half after I get off tour before I give birth to figure out how to be a mom.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's plenty of time.
People are going to give you so much advice on tour. It's going to be so annoying.
I know.
It's going to be cute though.
Yeah.
I always think when people give you advice, it's like a sweet thing,
Yeah.
but you forget because it gets so annoying.
Yeah. Everyone's like, people tell me like sleep now. I'm like, okay, but I don't think it's going to help me when,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or like when religious people are like praying for you. I'm like,
oh,
thanks.
my family.
Thank
I was
you.
raised in an extremely religious
Were
family.
you?
Like extremely Catholic.
Okay.
And I believed it until I was like 19.
Yeah.
And like really religious.
Mhm.
And I thought I was going to hell because I couldn't stop having sex with my boyfriend.
Oh, and you just kept doing it. It was
If I
like getting
couldn't stop-
hotter. Was it getting like hotter and hotter?
No,
You're like,
but,
oh my
like,
God.
because
we're
I would
so
get-
bad.
I
Are we
would get-
burning already? Because
Yes.
this is so hot.
Yes, I would get so mad at myself because think about that. I thought I was going to go to hell forever. And I was
Yeah.
like, but I still can't stop having sex with my
Yeah.
boyfriend. And I would tell the priest, like I would go to confession. I'd
And the
be
priest
like,
was like,
I would
kill
have-
me slower.
I was like, and I'd be like, I would try to like work it at the end where I'd be like, I wasn't paying attention in church and I was meeting my mom and I'm like, it's just so weird to think about. But I was very like, really took it seriously.
Yeah.
But now not so much. I mean, or at all rather.
Right. Yeah.
And it's still, I mean, like my mom's dead, but her family
Yeah.
is still very
Oh, really?
religious.
Are they?
Yeah.
Were you
mhm.
really close with your mom?
Yeah, but we fought a lot because of the religion thing.
Oh, wow.
Because,
yeah.
but also she didn't act religious. Like she swore a lot. She was vulgar, dirty jokes, but she truly believed in, like that, if you,
But so was it the fights was it because you wanted her to not be religious or was it because she wanted you to be religious?
yeah, which I
Yeah.
get 'cause she thought I was going to go to hell.
I know. It's
So,
actually
like-
very sweet.
So
yeah.
like how, like she wouldn't really love me if she was okay with me
Yeah.
not being Catholic, but it obviously made things,
Yeah.
was a strain on the relationship.
Now I was thinking about, do you remember when the liberals were doing shout your abortion?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And I was like, who are you shouting that to? Are you shouting it? It's so mean. Like you do know the other side thinks that it's like murder.
yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to shout it louder. But then I'm like, but I want people to be able to have the freedom of speech to shout
Yeah.
whatever they want. I think the problem with freedom of speech is people don't realize that other people's negative reaction to your free speech is also free speech.
Yeah, it is. People don't know what the First Amendment is. They're like, well, I have my free speech. It's like, yes, which means that the government can't punish you.
Yeah, exactly.
But someone can be mean to you.
Yeah.
It's like if you say something, someone can say how they feel about that. It's not just about. I mean, I do get to the point where I enjoy reading like the comments on my
Yeah, sometimes it's
Instagram.
fun,
Like
yeah.
it's like these are people, like real people
Yeah.
who are saying this shit, and who are you? Like, where do you come from?
Yeah.
Like there's people
Do you
on,
click? Do you ever look?
I look sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's
It's never good. I'm
it's-
never like, wow, he's hot.
That's the thing.
I'm not like, damn, this guy's fucking hot.
That's the thing. There's also on
this woman's killing it.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh.
There's like a lot of women in like their 70s on Twitter that just are triggered by my existence.
What are they? And what part of you are they triggered by?
Just my existence. Like I'm a whore or whatever. Like I'm just my skirts are short, and I'm just like I'm disgusting. And it's just, and then they become like friends with each other. You know what I mean? They start tweeting like with each other. There's one woman who has started timing me on the show to see how long I talk and be like, she only contributes this many seconds. And I just think of this old woman sitting at home with her time. She certainly doesn't have a phone. She probably has like a stopwatch.
She kind of loves you.
Yeah.
She's loves you
sitting
so
there
much.
like with a stopwatch. Like if I ever am doing that in my life, I just want to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to be dead.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess she's just slowly dying. Like, what is she doing? But then also it's like, they're watching the show for someone, right? It's like, whether it's you, Greg, like whoever it is that they want to see. It's Greg, right? His name?
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's the host of the show.
Yes. I remember you telling me the funniest story about him at the party when he got like locked out of it. Wasn't he locked in his apartment?
He accidentally locked himself in a room in his apartment.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like he could just been dead. You would have been just the one that found his body.
Probably.
But I'm just saying like, so it's like, I always think that it's like if you like Greg and Greg likes me, you can't just go, Greg likes her, so I can like her.
Right.
It's like, why if you don't like him, but he like, why would you think, oh, but he's just really wrong about this one person?
Yes. And also just like, how do you hate someone so much you've never met?
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate. And also if you hate someone, talk shit about me behind my back like a normal person.
Yeah.
You don't got to tag me in it.
Yeah. No, that's why I like Reddit. Because I think Reddit is like this, they're actually, the mean Redditors are actually so sweet.
Yeah.
Like that we'll just do a Reddit, like talking shit on you to each other. And it's like, I can't find that unless I go look for it. They're talking shit behind my back, like angels.
Yes.
The people that tag you are like, no, I want to tell you you're a dumb bitch to your face. I want you to see it. I want you to see other people liking it.
Yeah.
You're like, that's dick. That's rude.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, why did you feel the need to share this with me?
Yeah, why do I need to know it?
And it's like, they get so like, oh, like my forehead's big. Like, I don't know my forehead's big. I'm well aware my forehead's
not
big.
that big.
It's pretty big. It's a pretty big.
There's 4 eyes right here. I'm really
it's pretty, dude, my glasses. You know what's so weird is, I wore these glasses for 7 years with perfect vision.
Oh,
and now I'm
really?
nearsighted.
And now you have to
now
wear them.
like if it's far away, I can't read it.
That's how I am, but I just don't wear the glasses.
I look way better with them on though.
Well, you also, I think when you start wearing glasses, you become glasses girl. It's like your thing. I used to be a glasses girl and then I got rid of them. I ditched them. Yeah.
See, I'm in too deep.
But when the kid starts pulling the glasses off, what are you going to have, a croaky?
Yeah, probably.
Are you going to be that nerd?
Probably. God, I didn't even think about that. I got to do some Googling in terms of like being a mom.
I think it isn't going to tell you.
Like
I think you just have to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Do you want to do it?
I have frozen embryos.
Yeah, because we talked about this, I think. Yeah, you do. I did too, and I need to use them.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, but how many you did embryos or eggs? How many do you have?
9.
So you're in Alabama.
I have 9 kids. Yeah, exactly. I have 10.
You have 10
because this one too.
Yes. Yeah, no, I don't know.
It is
but
terrifying.
I do feel like, I think what I'm fighting up against is I have FOMO for the life of someone that comes on earth and does the things, all the things, which is have the kids and all that stuff. But I'm not like looking at my specific friends and going, that looks fun.
Totally. And
I'm not going, wow, what a treat. I'm just going, am I missing out on this beautiful experience that also sucks? Yeah.
I got to the point where I was like, okay, like I feel like I've done everything else. So like, why not? But also we were planning on, like, we were going to do IVF. I never actually went through with that. I just got pregnant. So I didn't like make it a decision. Yeah. Really. So I
think that is the thing. You either have to be one of those people that's like their whole life is like, I can't wait to have a kid, or you have to just
get pregnant and be like, we're doing it, which is and I'm like, it'll be okay.
Or not be able to get pregnant and then decide whether you want to like adopt or not have kids.
Right. But my life is over. Right? Because like
because here's why I don't think it is.
I'm like, I started hitting me now where I'm like, this thing, like, I'm like, ugh, sucks being pregnant. Like I can't take Vyvanse. Like,
Yeah, but the minute it's out.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I can't have nicotine gum. But it's gonna be harder than that, I think, when it comes out and like needs stuff from me.
But I think you'll have like natural instincts that come in. I mean, I don't know. But all I can say is I think me looking from the outside in, I think you're at a very good time, okay?
Yeah.
You have 2 books under your
Right.
belt. You're going to have done your 2 tours. You have an established audience that's like really interested in your evolution and your ideas. So you're now evolving into this other area of life that's going to be expand your relatability. And you're not going to not get your work done. You get your work done.
Yeah.
You're going to get Vyvanse again.
I am. I really can't wait to take it.
Yes.
And like, I wonder if I haven't been like, I have the only other time I've been off of amphetamine since I was 5 is like when I was hospitalized. That's the only time.
You were tired as hell, weren't you?
Dude, I'm so tired.
Maybe it's not even just the baby. It's like
probably
the withdrawal.
Dude, but I mean, it probably, at first I thought it was just that, but I'm like, no, it's also the baby.
Yeah.
But it's also like, when I take it again, am I going to be like zooted? Is it going to be?
It'll get even again.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to take, but it's going to get much harder. Like, I guess, I don't know. Hopefully my husband does a lot of the work.
He's going to.
It was his idea.
He
was like, Kat,
he's
you're going to
do more stuff. I met him. I know what he's like.
Yeah.
He's like Todd. They just do things.
They do things. And they're like, you go do you. And like, you're good at that.
Yep.
It's like the one thing I'm good at. I don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
Like I can write, I can perform, and that's it. I don't know how to like file this claim. Like, I don't know how to do that.
No.
No, I don't do that.
Sometimes I'm like, I actually like ask my Instagram audience, I go, should I clean my house or call my mom and fly her in to do it?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I just want someone to do something. But that is scary actually, because you're going to be the mom.
I'm going to be
Is the baby going to be like, Mom, do stuff for me? I guess.
Yeah, probably. Like the amount of paperwork. I'm worried that like I'm going to miss like a paper. And then my kid
They take your kid
away.
away.
They'll take it away. Yeah.
They're like, oh, you gave this up. You didn't sign the thing that said I'm going to keep it. Like, it's actually going to another family.
It seems so easy to like accidentally kill one and then the way that I see other people talking about it, because I don't know, like my whole feed is like mom stuff now. Like the Instagram knew I got pregnant like before I did.
Wild.
And it's like women being like, beware of, no alcohol content. Beer still has 0.5% of alcohol. And I'm not drinking that anyways. I'm not like a big drinker anyway. I don't miss alcohol. I rarely drink anyway. But that's like as much alcohol as fruit juice in it. Like if you really want to have a non-alcoholic beer, that's fine. That's if
you go through the rabbit hole of that stuff, it's like you're gonna be so worried you're doing the wrong thing all the time.
Crackheads have healthy babies all the time. And those
on the street. Like they're not even in a hospital. And
they grow up to be athletes and musicians.
Yes.
Like all the time.
That's the best origin story.
Yeah.
Is to be talk to a girl. Crack baby. When I heard she was a crack baby, because I did already like her.
Yeah.
I mean, she got me pretty quick.
Yeah.
At first I was like, what is this shit? And then I was like, I love her.
Yeah, I do too.
She's so cute. It's just like, what a cute thing to have this stupid thing you said and then just be just this little cutie all around.
I wonder if she had the anxiety in the morning. Like she said that, talked to that guy, was drunk.
She probably thought nothing was going to happen.
And she probably was like, no one will ever see it.
She probably forgot she said it.
She probably, she could have completely
I'm just
forgot.
like, poor baby, for every blowjob you give is going to have to be this whole
I thought about that. It's like, how do you ever go out? Everyone's gonna be like, so. Like,
I would just be like, I've retired from blowjobs. Blowjobs became too big of a deal in my life that I had to.
You'd have to, because everybody would be like expecting that.
Yeah, and what's so cute is that everyone was like, she's gonna get an OnlyFans. She was like, no, I'm not. Like she's also like, I don't even identify. She didn't say this, but I feel like she's like, I'm not even identifying like as a slut or anything.
Yeah,
she's like, I just said a thing. She's really, I think, but when I heard she was a crack baby, I was like, this is my girl.
Yeah, I do worry that like my baby won't have enough trauma. You know what I mean? Like,
well, just let him read your comments.
Right, exactly.
It's so easy.
But it's like, I'm in a normal relationship. I'm not going to raise the kid with religion. I don't want to do that. It's not, what's the origin story going to be? I had a normal life. Well, listen, so then that's a trauma too, right?
It's a trauma. To not have trauma is a trauma.
Yeah, I think it kind of is.
It's just hard to be alive.
Especially in this day and age, because what do you talk about when everyone's talking about their trauma? And you're like, my parents love each other and they love me. Everyone's like,
I know. It's,
next.
I know. They're like, what? They're married? Ew.
Like if my baby's ever on The Bachelor, they always go on the date and the girl has to have a trauma.
Right.
It's like, is your dad left you, doesn't love you, or
You can't be talking to both your parents. If
No,
you talk to both of your parents, like
if
you're
they're
not
both,
getting a hometowns.
Yeah, if you talk to both of them, they're both alive. You have no sort of like, you're not deaf. They keep finding like deaf girls.
There's always some.
There's
a
always like one
disability.
deaf girl a season.
They had a girl with one arm, which I loved.
I missed that.
That was cute.
See, but like if my kid could have no hope, like, oh, I've had a normal life.
If I was on The Bachelor, if I was the Bachelorette, I would be like, I want them all missing one limb. I need something missing. I want them hidden. I don't want it to be visible in the beginning. I want to find it out at the end.
Which limb it is, or just that there are no limbs?
Oh, the whole time they've just had a full fake body. They're just a torso.
See, I would watch that show where people think they're on The Bachelor.
Yes.
And they think they're the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. And then you get there and then slowly you realize that each one of them doesn't have limbs.
Yes.
And see how long it takes people to figure out that like this, like, wait, do you know, there was that show called I Want to Marry Harry. I watched this when I had that ostomy surgery or whatever. And so I spent a lot of time at home watching TV during that.
Right.
And it was a show where they like gaslit all these women into thinking this guy was Prince Harry. But he wasn't actually
funny.
Prince Harry.
And it's like shame on you guys for not knowing.
Yeah, but it was at first, it was like they were shaming them for not thinking it was. Man, I mean, we don't.
Well, Joe Millionaire was like the first one of those. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
You might be a little younger than.
No, I remember Joe Millionaire.
And he was just such a loser, but they thought he was rich, so they were so excited.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's like, "No, I'm just an idiot," and they were like, "Oh."
But then I think you were supposed to be on his side when you watched it, which like I'm not.
No.
Like if you think that you're
also, if people want to be like, because you can look at gold digging in different ways. You can look at someone just has high standards for who they date and the life they want to live, or they're trying to do as little as possible and get as much as they want. But I really don't care about either of those things. And this is coming from someone with a very rich, very rich friend named Tim Dillon. Guys, I am on a be hot, thrive, feel good journey. And that involves, unfortunately, most of my life has involved me not eating carbs. I've said no to sandwiches, to pizzas. I've said no to burritos. I've said no to so many things that could have brought me joy. But I no longer have to do that because there's a new hero in my life, and it is Hero Bread. I can eat a sandwich. It's going to be okay. I can just make sure, if I just make sure I'm using Hero Bread, because Hero Bread has reinvented bread, okay? You think every piece of toast is packed with carbs. Think again, Hero Bread has no net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and fewer calories. Plus, they've added protein and fiber. Does it get better than that? Girl, eat your sandwich. Eat your sandwich. I'm so excited. They have all of your favorites. You can have no consequences or compromises. They have sliced bread loaves, buns, tortillas, croissants, and they even have cheddar biscuits. We're back, baby. We're skinny and we're full. Keep the carbs out of this end of summer and early fall without compromising flavor with Hero Bread. Get 10% off your order at hero.co and use code Annie at checkout. That's Annie at HERO.co. Eat your bread, girl.
Yeah, no, it's totally. I mean, it's like whatever.
Why
but also,
is that? Yeah, like
if that's what you like, that's what you like, and that's what you don't like, that's what you don't like. Who cares? Like, let people figure it out.
Also, yeah,
I don't.
It's just like poor guys being like, "This is fucked up."
Yeah,
it's not fair. It's like there's plenty of women who will suck your poor dick. Okay, trust me.
God, yeah. I mean, I've dated plenty of poor guys.
I never have dated. No offense, I have never dated like a wealthy.
And I mean, I had like this guy that was like living with me that I didn't even like for a while. So I just couldn't get rid of him. And he always like had an excuse, like he hurt his foot or whatever, and he couldn't leave.
Oh, I know.
Well,
I had a guy who I lived with, and I wanted to break up with him so bad for 3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And I always like kind of felt bad. And then I was like, oh, I got to like figure out their apartment. Like I just was like kind of lazy about it. And then when we broke up, it was my apartment. When we broke up, I was going to move to New York and then rent out the apartment. It was like a sick apartment in Los Feliz. And he kept like, he was going to help me rent it out. And there kept being like a problem or like, the doors aren't on. I found like the perfect person who was like in distress. Like my favorite thing to do, help a person in distress.
Same.
My friend is like, his wife is an alcoholic. She's driving the kids around drunk. He's like, he took his kids from her and he was like, we need a place. And I was like, oh my God, I have the perfect
Yes.
apartment for you.
Yes.
And then my ex is like, oh, the doors and the window. I'm like, what doors, windows? What are you talking about? And then it turns out he'd been squatting in the apartment and he wouldn't leave. And I just had to give him the apartment. I just be like, all right, just live here.
Yeah.
And he would cry. He'd be like, oh.
Oh, the crying. Gosh.
Crying.
This guy,
Todd don't cry. Like Todd would never cry. Only in normal, healthy ways. But like he would never.
I remember one time I was sitting there watching TV and I heard him like weeping in the bathroom. He was like sobbing in the bathroom. And I came out and I was like, is everything okay? He was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I just, because it's hard to get rid of them.
Did he? Yeah, because you feel like they're so fragile.
Yeah.
But was he just doing that to manipulate you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He was always manipulating me.
Because my mom used to cry all the time too. And I'd be like, this is not real.
And I was so stupid. I remember I said he wasn't a real actor because he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, he never, we were watching.
There's no tears. There's no wetness.
He never made $1 acting.
Yeah.
And he was like, I would never do investigation discovery shows because it would ruin my reputation as an actor.
Oh,
And I'm
I
like,
know. I love the standards of the people that have never
what
worked.
reputation as an actor? You've never even made $1 as an actor.
Yep.
What are you talking about? And then he made me feel so bad that I wound up paying for his acting classes.
Oh, no, I know. And then they make you like, I'm this monster or whatever. This guy, he was a sound guy. He wanted to be a comedian, which is so disgusting.
Yeah.
Did you ever, when you did Just Comedy before?
Yes.
And then did you ever date someone that wanted to do comedy?
Yes.
When you were it's disgusting.
Yes.
When they say that to you and you go, but I'm doing it, like this is my job and I do it all the time. And then, but you just want to do it?
But they're like, I want to do it. Like,
And
I'm
you're like,
a funny guy.
But then it's like, okay, either like do it,
Do it
or don't. But this is so weird.
Yeah.
So he'd always be like, yeah. And it's 3 years of him being like, yeah,
I really want to get up there.
He would do stand up and he was a sound engineer. And we were in Jersey and his one of his high school friends, we ran into them at the mall and his friend goes, oh my God, what are you up to, man? He goes, oh, we're comedians. I want to be like, no, we're actually sound engineers. We're actually sound engineers.
He said we're comedians.
Can you believe that?
What did you just say? Did you just
I was like, I mean, my TMJ was tight with that guy. I was like, I just was so embarrassed. And then he ended up like, he would see shows, comedy shows, and he would come home and he'd be like, oh, I just know I could be so much funnier than all of them. And it's like, but you can't.
And how long was this for years?
3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But it's like, you can't, like, you cannot say you're funnier than the worst comedian who actually went on stage. The worst comedian that's ever been on stage is a better comic than a person that never performed.
Yes. I also dated for years this guy that really hated me. Like, he didn't like me at all. And he was like abusive towards me, but also he was like an open micer. And this is when my career was going pretty well.
Oh,
and
they don't like that.
He would get so mad at me every time something good happened to me.
Oh my God, it's the worst. And you're like, oh, sorry.
And then he would get mad at me for not helping me in his career, which the saddest thing is I tried. I would get him auditions. I'd get him things like, but then he just would bomb. And I'd be like, I can't like make
I can't make you better. I can't make you better.
Good at this. But then he would get so mad at me.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, why don't you just go f- all your rich neighbors? And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then I'd apologize.
Right.
He wouldn't let me over his apartment though, ever, where he lived with like a bunch of people. Because also no money, no job.
Right, of course.
And he was like, because I don't want anyone to know I'm dating you. And I was like, okay.
Because he didn't want it to seem like he was like getting stuff from you or something.
No, I think it's because he was sleeping with a lot of other people.
Oh, that's so
because
funny.
I found a notebook where he had a list of all the people he slept with while we were seeing each other, and it was like a list of 17 people.
Did you know them?
Some of them I knew, yeah. And some of them I had actually been like, I know you're sleeping with her because she's texting you at 3 a.m. And he was like,
because there's no reason.
And then he's like,
unless it's us texting Drew.
Right, exactly.
Susan's very calm. She's very calm with how much we call him.
Very calm. So I'm like, I need you right now.
I'm like, Zaddy, Dr. Zaddy. I'm like literally like, how's the hottest couple?
I will literally be like, I have a question about my vagina.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Is this normal?
Yeah.
I'm FaceTiming. I'm pussy timing
Yeah,
him.
exactly. No, it's pretty much the vibe. But yeah, I mean, and he was like, he stormed out of my apartment when I was like, I know that you're f***ing this girl. And he was like, you're crazy. He stormed out, didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
Being cheated on is such a inconvenience.
And it's also just like I took him to like Tulum on this amazing trip and I paid for everything. We came back to the United States. He still doesn't like me, but he had a really nice side.
I know, it's so weird. And then for some reason we're still like giving and doing stuff for them.
Yeah. I mean, because I love a damaged person, which is why I wasn't interested in my husband at first, because like he has his shit together. If he hadn't gone to war, I don't think I'd like my husband at
No,
all.
your husband's cool.
Yeah.
I think him and Todd would like love each other.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to you guys about that.
Because our relationship is similar. Like, I mean, the way that you talk to, I talk to my husband very similarly.
Yeah. But what was I going to say about all of this? Sorry, the ADD.
It's okay.
We need Vyvanse.
We need
Vyvanse.
I could be sponsored by Vyvanse. I don't know why pharmaceutical companies aren't allowed to sponsor people like that.
I mean, I was
like Khloe
sponsored by-
Kardashian did the migraine meds.
I know, and it's like,
What? Why not? Why can't I be sponsored by amphetamines?
also, I want to see a video of you having a migraine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that I can keep up with that Kardashian.
I think we were talking about losers who we
Oh,
spend.
my last straw with this guy was, it's funny because we were talking about trips, was his mom was in town and his mom was, I got into the, did you ever do the Vodafone Comedy Festival in Ireland?
Mm-mm.
Have you performed it? You probably crush in Ireland.
I've never performed in
Oh
Ireland.
my God, you would like destroy
I would
Ireland.
love to.
They would love your little green eyes. But I did this, I got into this festival. They paid me like $5,000 at that point. I was like, $5,000. And they paid for my ticket. Like I was like, oh my God, this is like the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I was like, Mom and Dad, I'm rich, you know? And his mom goes, and he was completely broke. I was totally supporting him. And his mom goes, he's really, he's sad you're going to be going to Ireland without him. And I was like all excited. Like I had rented this Airbnb. I got in this car. I was going a couple days early. She's like, yeah, he's really sad he can't go with you. And it's like, what? I just said to her, like, I've worked really hard to get to this place in my career where I'm doing these things. Like, why would I ever need to think about someone who's supposed to be my partner supporting me feeling bad they aren't getting this opportunity? Like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, done after that.
Oh, you were like done.
Yeah, I came back from Ireland. I picked out who I was going to bang next. I remember I was like,
okay, did you already have like...
I didn't do any of there was nothing like, but I just went, yeah. When I started like really being like...
Yeah, I had to like have years of therapy and working on it because otherwise I wouldn't have been attracted to someone like my husband because there were so many of the losers. Like the dumbest thing I ever did was I went home with a guy that I met at emo night. And like this guy.
Were you wearing this outfit?
No, something.
Are we not?
Something
did we like
similar.
accidentally like dress in the same
Something
sort of like
similar.
gothy 90s thing?
And he was like really attached like right away. And like so after a couple weeks, I'd seen him maybe like twice. And then the third time he came out with me and my friends. And he was like really hot, but really stupid. And he made out with a man in the bathroom at the gay bar while we were out together. And another, and I by the way, he was being such an idiot all night. I already never wanted to see him again. So this actually wasn't even whatever. And one of my friends told me that he did that. And I was like, I just laughing at that point. He still followed us around the whole night, came back with me after to my apartment, and then just like stayed on my balcony, invited a friend over and was like smoking cigarettes with the guy. Came in and told me he didn't think it was working out. And then asked my gay friend for his number right in front of me. And I'm just laughing, whatever. I never want to see him again. He sent me, I think like hundreds of messages. I counted hundreds of messages, videos of him crying, was dropping things off in my apartment.
For what?
He was so sorry. I'm like, we never had, this is, because it's like if you.
Do you think he was attracted to you because your chest?
Because of my, because that's
your
true.
Man chest?
That's true. I'm very androgynous body up until my pregnancy. No, that's true. I think it's possible.
You don't.
Not anymore.
No, you didn't.
No, I have
you
boobs.
Didn't.
I have boobs now, and like
your ass is pretty pop.
Yeah, that's true. I've always had a butt.
You
though.
got an
I've always had a
ass.
butt, but I've never had boobs in my life, and they are fun. It's fun to have boobs.
Yeah. But isn't it fun to be small boob too?
It is fun. You can wear
we get
whatever.
To, like, brag as much because it's kind of like not a societal norm, but it's like. We can run. We can do anything.
Yeah, it's weird when I move that they move because I've never had that in my whole entire life.
Sometimes I get tit sweat, and I'm like, "How do you get tit sweat with no tits?"
See, I'm like, it's they move. Like I'm like, I need to wear a bra. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. Which is a lot different than my past.
Yeah, I've never worn. Yeah.
No.
A bra. I always wear like a bralette where I'm like, why am I even wearing this fabric?
Yeah.
I've never been like, oh, I need some support.
Yeah, I'm getting there, and I think it's gonna. I mean, obviously, they're gonna get much bigger.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm gonna have to breastfeed.
You're going to squeeze all the juice out of
I'm going to try to breastfeed.
Yeah, try to breastfeed.
You know.
My mom told me, she was like, breastfeeding feels like what you're meant to do on this earth. And she's like, but I think she was only saying that because I wouldn't breastfeed. I think she was kind of giving me a little dig. Like,
got it.
Your brother would, but you wouldn't.
Got it. I think I'm going to try it, but like, how long? I know people have done it for like 2 years. I'm not going to be like pumping milk in my office when I go back to work and like keep it in the office fridge. Like, what do you do?
You're going to have to. Like, I think you have to pump.
I'm not going to.
You have to, I think, don't you?
Yeah, you have to.
Because
But
it'll like explode or
what if I
something.
don't get my own mini fridge for the office and I just like pump breast milk and I keep it in like the main communal fridge?
You
at
should do
Fox,
it on
and I write
the
like
show.
Cat's breast milk.
Yeah.
Do not touch.
And some go
Somebody-
missing. Some pervs are
Somebody's
taking it.
or sell it.
You
I
should
could sell it.
Sell it. Yes.
I could sell it. I
And
wonder if
take
I'd
that
get in trouble with
7-year-old woman.
that. I like some of I would probably get in trouble. I probably would get a call.
From what? Trouble by who?
Fox. It'd probably be
yeah.
it reflects poorly on us that you're they're
Have you
pretty
met?
cool.
Have you met
but-
Rupert Murdoch?
Yeah, once or twice. We never had like
Does
a
he love you?
conversation. He's as far as I know, he likes me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like we're not like homies.
I did a thing for this iPad. Do you remember they had the Daily back in the day?
Of course, yeah.
So I used to do these Bachelor recaps and he liked me. It was like cool. I was like, ooh, Rupe. Hi. Hey, daddy. But that always felt really cool.
If you were gonna get in trouble though, that's like a funny way to get in trouble. Like
From Rupert,
just like how you were selling
excuse me, we heard
you're selling your breast
some
milk.
excrements from your own body.
And I'd be like, oh, I didn't realize it does my contract didn't say
Or would
anything.
they be like, we're actually going to write into the contract that we get 10% of this because we made that breast milk famous?
That's true. I think they might have a point there.
Now, before you were doing Gutfeld, did you like have a successful comedy career before that and that's what got you into it? Or did you think that's what popped you off?
That's what popped me off for
and
sure.
then the book was like put you into a level that was
that's what popped me off for sure. I was writing always and doing like man on the street videos. I worked at Barstool for a little bit too, but definitely Gutfeld. I think. I mean, that's what most people know me from. But the writing is like the books are what I'm kind of the best at.
Yeah,
because I'll write about political issues, but as you've notice and everyone who's listening to this notice, I don't mind sharing.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this happened.
Yeah.
But I think, that's why I'm naked on the cover with the hate mail, not just because I look awesome. And
that's hate mail.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I
look awesome. I miss my waist, but I'll get it back. But because I think being vulnerable is a huge way out of this mess. You know what I mean? Like if you're open about shit you've been through, people will be less likely to be a dick to you.
Well, also everyone does actually have completely different experiences on this earth. We have completely different views of what's going on. We see things through our own specific eyes and stuff. So the more we each are ourselves, the more people will find, oh my God, I feel like this person. And I've never found, especially like maybe watching that show, they wouldn't see that as much. And are you the only girl in it?
Yeah, I mean, so it's yes, and also often I'm the only girl, including the guests.
Yeah,
it's like often me and then all guys.
Yeah, fun.
But that's fun. It is fun. Yeah, and it's also like whatever. Like
cool.
I'm not like I'm intimidated.
Yeah, wasn't it so funny when they're like, "There's no females in comedy," and it was like the only person saying that are the women that like aren't booked on the show. You're like.
I hate that question. People are like, what's it like to be a woman in comedy?
Like,
I'm like, I don't know.
I've never been a man in comedy.
I know, I've never been a man in comedy. I've also like never been like a woman in another job. I've never had like a normal job. I was like a waitress and like then I've been like a writer, comedian, person on a show. I could not be in an office. Like I could not, again, file the claim, like filing a claim.
Trouble. That's when we'd really be in trouble.
Yeah. Like 2 days I would probably
with your mouth and my mouth.
I would last 2 days in an office.
It would not work out.
Yeah.
What did I say? I was doing like a voiceover thing today. And one of the actresses that was doing it, she had to do like a fake fart. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I like doing a fake fart. It's so weird. I've had to do ADR for sex scenes before. And for some reason, this is more embarrassing. And I was like, pretend it's a queef. And no one laughed. And I was like, can I get in trouble for saying that? Like, am I sexually assaulting her? She was like really cool. And I think people just had their.
It's kind of awesome that no one like, I just
but I was
silence.
like, oh, I love
when I tell a joke in a social situation and I make everyone.
I like to say the craziest thing and then everyone's silent. I went in a meeting to this production company for reality TV. And this woman had a bunch of gelt, the Jewish candy, these little like chocolates that look like coins. She had a big thing of it. And I took like a handful and I looked at her and I went, I'm a Zionist too. And like winked, like,
you just like saying things.
I just like said a thing.
You said a thing.
Dead silence. When I left, my manager was like, Annie, that was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like I just like.
I hate when you do something that people are like, why would you say that? I'm like, I don't know. I just
thought
said
it'd be
it.
funny
I just
because
said
I thought
it.
it was the funniest thing. Because I want to say the funniest thing the fastest I can say it.
Yes.
So I'll just say something. And if it doesn't land, I don't give a f. Because my goal is to say the fastest, funniest thing I can possibly say. So I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Or how about, do you ever get, because you're the comedian on things. Like, do you get the thing where people are like, gosh, she's trying so hard?
Yeah, I get that.
She's trying so hard. I'm like, she's always trying to be funny. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You want to not be funny? That's what I do.
Oh, I get that. Or they'll be like, oh, she's always like trying to she's always trying to like think differently or say something differently than Greg. I'm like, that's like what my role is on the, like, I do think differently than he does on a lot of things. That's why I'm sitting there.
And look at how we're friends. Do you see that? And how we've been able to work together this entire time.
Yeah. Look at how he's my friend. And he like, you do realize that if he didn't want me on the show every day, I wouldn't be on the show every day.
It's not like you got, like, everyone's tricked into this and But I also feel like that's what I always liked about Bill Maher is he always had opposing viewpoints. It's like, why the would you want to see something where everyone believes the same thing? That's so boring. But people get excited. They get real high off that shit.
They do.
They love being in like a group that like agrees. And trust me, I've gone to a lot of weird like woo-woo seminars and you just start to get like into the vibe. And then you're like, wait, what just happened? This was weird. This was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to like a manifestation thing that this guy put on and his wife. And I'm like, I'm watching and I'm going, and everyone's like, and I'm like, what are these people are saying nothing.
I've never gone to anything like that.
It's fun to go to.
Is it? Because I'm dead inside, right? I have no like spirituality, religion.
Well, inside now.
Well, yeah, that's true. I do. Not that I'm not growing a life inside of me, of course, but yeah.
You had to empty it out so there was room.
It's great. It is weird. It's weird the baby can hear this too. You know, it's got ears now.
And like
it can hear the shit that's going on. And it's like, when do you think you have to stop watching like what you want to watch on TV? Like
when they're like 3.
Yeah, when they're like
or 2.
Because I just watch like murder and reality TV shows.
You just don't want them to start repeating things they hear. So once they can start talking.
Yeah.
But murder show, I don't know.
Because I watch like it's all I do is like the true crime murder and then like reality TV.
Here's the thing. I had to quit. But do you feel because I look at your career and I think it's like such a beautiful success. Do you feel that way?
Sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, I could be doing this. I could be doing this.
Because I feel like for me, I really try to like maintain my focus on things because I can get into dark places and stuff. And I want to stay really positive because there's so many things I want to do and I have so much fun. I feel so lucky that I'm doing this job, but I want to like build it. And so I don't watch things like murder because I'm like, that's putting me in like the negative areas. So I stopped watching it, even though it's like juicy. But I'm like, if I was, and maybe this is like,
is that helpful? Because I wonder, because I think about it. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I was like, every moment of my free time, I am like listening about someone's horrific experience of being killed.
The thing that happened to me was I was watching a Dateline and I realized it was a friend of mine's family. And I realized, a girl I knew. And I was like, oh, this is her sister. And I realized that she wasn't on it, but I was like, it just felt weird. That once it got like real, because I was like, oh, I'm looking at this almost like it's a cartoon. Even though you're seeing real bodies, you're just like, oh, this is a story someone wrote. And I think the reason I will never watch a unsolved one. Don't fuck with me.
I've never watched it.
But that's because I think you are like, oh, you get to like a complete ending to this. Mm-hmm. So it is like a full storyline. I think that's what's like interesting about it. But when you realize it's like, when you actually realize the levity, like I've been passing over that Lacey Peterson.
I know. I've been looking at it.
I've been going, Scott Peterson, the first murder hottie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. I feel like there's something to that. I really do think there's something to that.
But then I'm like, I don't want to watch. I'm also like, am I going to watch this poor lady's story again? Yeah. How many times have I seen this lady's story? The Scott Peterson story. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But do you feel like as a pregnant person, you can't watch a pregnant murder?
A pregnant murder? Yeah. I know. That's kind of why I'm like, do I really want to watch this as a pregnant? Yeah. Like I'm pregnant and like how that would be like. I mean, which is quite different from my experience. You know, I'm not going to be like that's the last thing I said. Like,
it just cuts it's just something like breaks in here. We're all just like, oh my God.
But I mean, like being pregnant, my husband's so nice to me. Like he's always nice to me, but like he's real. I can't imagine like.
Well, it's nice when you see a man that seems to kind of get the sacrifice. Yes. You know, and go, oh my God, I'm going to have to just be in service of this. Todd is like that always. So
So he's always like, my husband's always like that too.
Yeah.
And
In service of the divine.
He's always like that too. But it's like, he's like, I'm really proud of you. Like today's like, I'm really proud of you and like what you're doing.
Does it make you feel good or are you kind of embarrassed?
I like it.
It's good, yeah.
I need it actually.
Yeah.
Like I need you to be, if you're not obsessed with me, then what are we doing here?
Sometimes I go like, Todd, can you say exactly this? Like I think I want to write him like a script.
But that's healthier than acting out. Because that's what my therapist even told me. Like you can just say, I need a little attention
Dr.
right
Drew.
now. Yes, but
it was 4 a.m.
I was like, I called him and I was like, here's my I have called him so many times.
I call this man constantly. I call him constantly.
Yeah.
I don't always take the advice either. I'll tell you that. Sometimes I'll call him back about the same thing.
He's gotta love the tea though. I mean, like imagine
he loves it. He was when you go to a party at a Tim Dillon personality's house, you are like excited. Who's going to be there? Who's going to be there? Right? I was excited to meet you.
I was excited to meet you too. Yeah.
I like had so much fun in our little corner. Yeah. He didn't want to hang out with us. He wanted to hang out with the weirdos. He was like, "Who's the weirdest person here?"
Doctor's like,
but he already had like cracked into us.
Yeah. That's true.
When I first like really hung out with Drew, it was on an episode of Trash Tuesday, my old podcast, which was with 2 other girls.
Yeah.
I've never been more competitive for someone's attention. Like I was like, I'm telling him my trauma story. And they're like, we're telling him ours. I'm like, I'm telling him mine. It was like, I couldn't wait to tell this man every horrific thing that ever happened to me. Yeah. And he just loves it.
He does. So I told a joke about, because I was dating that guy who was abusive. I told a joke about like, some joke in the green room, and he was came up to, he was like, do you like want you want to get coffee? Like, are you good? And like, I wasn't good. Yeah. Like it was a bad situation. Like I write about it in the book. It was actually like really bad.
This one or the other one?
This one, the new one. And I write about it. And it's in the Drag Queen Save My Life chapter. Very pro drag queen. But yeah.
That must really piss him off, huh?
It does. And it didn't before. It's like all of a sudden drag queens like became controversial.
I know.
And it's like, no, I love drag queens. They're not going to get me to say anything bad about drag queens. Sorry, like
it's like so fun and silly. Yeah, it's such like a fun.
This is like you're looking at this and like that's what you think you need to be upset about right now. Like couldn't be me.
Also, aren't you mad at trans people? And these are people that aren't being trans. Don't you like that?
People talk about it as if it's the same now. That we were on the show one time and there was a male model wearing a women's bathing suit, and everyone was talking about this person as if they were trans or non-binary. Yeah. And like sometimes men wear women's clothes. Yeah, like gay men do that. Like dudes in like post-punk revival bands do that.
I feel like just the younger generation is doing that now.
That doesn't mean that just you don't put on women's clothes and immediately become trans.
I know. Didn't Oscar De La Hoya do that? Didn't they find him in like his Is
that true?
Yeah, they found him. Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah, more like Oscar Gay La Hoya. But we're saying he's not gay. That doesn't mean that.
It doesn't mean it's whatever. But yeah, so
people just are into weird shit, and then drag queens are such a normal community at this point. And they've been around so long.
Yes.
And they're killing it and they're having fun.
And they are fun.
I think people are like very mad. And this is why I think people probably dislike you and me too. We're free with ourselves. So like that's got to annoy people where they felt like they had to like stay into these societal norms and like how unfair it is and stuff. Like I remember being really triggered during the Me Too movement because I had like my like sexual assault stuff happen in high school. And I remember like people come out with sexual assaults that get retweeted and shit. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I know we're getting retweets for this shit. I was like mad. I was like, you're so popular.
Yeah, like you sold yours. Like,
oh my God, you're grew on the road. What the hell's going on? You got a rate? What the hell?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean it.
But it was like that was out of my. I was like, wait, am I getting jealous of people's like attention?
That would happen to a lot of people, but they wouldn't acknowledge it like that. Right. Or they wouldn't even like own it like that.
Well, what a weird time that was. Yeah. Do you know Leah McSweeney?
Yes.
Okay.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well.
Yes. Well, she was at the party too.
Yeah.
Wasn't she at Tim's? Oh no, wait,
she wasn't at Tim's, but like I know you know
hooked her and Tim up. Okay. So I got them connected, which is a fun. We went to a Broadway play together and I was like, this is so funny.
I love Leah.
Oh, Leah's great.
I love her so much. I need to get dinner with her soon.
But did you read her Penthouse article during the pandemic about Asia Argenta and Rose McGowan?
Oh man, that turned into such a thing, man.
But she was like the first one saying anything. And she She had a podcast for a second with this other, like this feminist woman.
I know. Yeah.
Do you remember Me Neither?
Yeah. Yep. I know her too.
Which was amazing. And she got canceled.
Yeah.
Like her business got canceled at least. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember being like, finding that podcast and being like, oh my God, you're allowed to say like some women f***ing suck.
And it's also like all women, I mean, most women, I certainly do have stories like that. Everybody has, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, I know both of them. And that's like what I'm writing about in this book. It's like one thing where you disagree or one thing where like, oh, maybe that didn't land or this or that. Or they said this. That doesn't mean like the whole person should be able to exist in society anymore.
Yeah.
That is crazy because I highly doubt that any person that's trying to like cancel someone else, if you had like filmed that person as they went around every party they've ever been to, every person they've ever talked to, you've said something not acceptable.
Of course.
At some point in your life.
Canceled people get canceled fast.
They cancel each other. Yes.
Oh my God, it happens so fast. It's so crazy. But yeah, no, it's also just like, I don't know. Everyone, it's just a long life. We all say things. I change my mind every day. Yeah. I say something different. I'll be like, what did I say yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if you can't learn and grow, then what are we all doing here?
Yeah, it's
like,
so
what
weird.
are we doing
I'm just supposed to be born knowing exactly what you want me to say and just say it.
Yeah, or canceling people for like stuff they said when they're like young, like kids
Oh
in
my
middle
God,
school
it's
now.
wild. Oh my God, did you see the Blake Lively thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then trans man actor was in Inception, is now a guy.
Elliot
Page. I think Elliot Page did some trans actor came out in defense of her and was like, what, are we going to act like this was not the total normal thing to say? And that the reason did become a bad word is because the people that are actually bigots, you turned it into that or whatever. I can't remember what they said, but it was like, so then for this community to be like, we're offended by it now when she didn't even know, but she was just, everyone was saying,
it's like
we're bleeping stuff.
I would be so I mean, back when I was like, you know, we had like AOL Instant Messenger and stuff like that. But if I had stuff I was posting when I was like 12, 13, you're an idiot.
You're so
You're
dumb.
just stupid. And it's like, do we have to answer for that when you're like an adult? Like, well, why did you say this? Because I was a idiot.
Yeah. Well, wild things are happening. I've learned a lot. My niece is 12.
Okay.
And she is so precious and so cute. And she's like telling me about stuff that's going on in school. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I was like trying to act like everything was normal. I was like, I started yelling because I was laying down and she's like, am I boring you? I was like, you are, I promise you, you are not boring me. I just need to sit up. But she told me that there's a thing called ethereal. And she has a friend who's ethereal. Ethereal is ethereal. And so ethereal means you identify as a animal.
Okay.
Like you were born a horse, but you came out a human. And then a furry is someone that like dresses, is like a drag, like I guess the dresses.
So that's,
like
there's a difference. Got it. So it's like the drag queen version of.
And I'm like, everybody do your thing. Like do your thing. Like honestly, like do your thing. But I'm like, the things my niece, I'm like, the things you're dealing with are so wild. And she's so cute. She's like, but she really, you know, this is what she believes. This is like how she was born. And she just dresses like an animal and stuff. It's so, I was like, my jaw was dropped. It's ethereal. I think I don't know if it's not spelled that. No, there it is. Ethereal. Ethereal. Yeah, ethereal right there. It's like a horseman, yeah. I'm telling you, it's like they're like, I identify as a cartoon. You know who really got is Rachel Dolezal. She's got to be pissed. She should be suing.
She has to be pissed. Does she have OnlyFans?
She's like, I got a spray tan, you monsters.
Does she have an OnlyFans?
Look up Rachel Dolezal's OnlyFans.
Or like I just had a dream.
I like you just yelling things at him. This is exactly how it should be treated. That's right.
Please
take my
tell
Todd.
me, does she have? Because I just don't. I could have just made that up.
Click it. Let's see.
Looks like she does.
Click her up. How do I?
You have say.
Oh, she's ripped.
She sure does.
Oh my God, she's ripped. Rachel.
She is ripped.
Rachel.
So, I mean, wow. Who's subscribing to Rachel Dolezal's OnlyFans?
Her kids are so embarrassed. It's so funny
It's
how
like, if
embarrassed her
that
kids
wasn't
are.
enough.
I know. Her kids. Did you see that documentary they did? And her kids were like, Mom, please. She adopted these black kids. They're like, Mom, stop. Oh my God. Does it show how many followers she has?
$10.
It's cheap. This is where I'm like, guys, you're giving away for like 10.
Audio. What's the audio?
Would you ever have done like an OnlyFans or anything?
No, my dad's still alive, you know, and I just can't. Like, I would, man, I could make a lot of money if I did.
I know. Do you know Josh Adam Myers?
Mm-mm.
He's a comic, but he was like, you would make like $1 million on OnlyFans. I'm like, shut up.
I feel like, yeah,
Scram.
you would.
That's
though.
how much I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's actually how much. I was like, I talk about it on stage sometimes because, you know, guys will be like, oh, you're so lucky you can do an OnlyFans. I'm like, so can you? I'm like, I don't want gross men jerking off to me. I'm like, yeah. Imagine I possibly think that too.
Yeah.
They're so funny. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I would hate to be like, ugh, gotta go do this, gotta go take pictures of my butthole. Like,
I know.
you know,
it's Butthole Sunday.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, but more power to the people who can do
Exactly.
it.
If you're fine with it,
then like, if I could do it, I would, and I
you
would
also have to,
make so much more money.
It on your other, like you have to be like to your like dad's friends. Like you have to
That's
be like,
what I
hey,
mean.
cousins
My dad's
that always
still
wanted to
alive.
bang
My
me.
grandpa's still alive. Like, the thing is enough people in my life would have to die off, but then I'd probably be too old.
And then starting too late is dark.
Yeah.
Starting too late is dark.
Yeah.
And then what if you start and it's like it's not as good as you think it's gonna be?
Yeah. What if I start and like I have 3 subscribers?
Yeah. You're like, and then like you see people doing like Black Friday sales. It's like, no, you don't get a sale.
Oh, yeah.
On my pussy pictures. No.
Yeah. That's
I'm fisting
true.
myself and you're getting like a Thanksgiving like discount. No.
We have a Patreon question. You want to do a
Okay.
Patreon question?
Yeah. Speaking of, did we remind you by talking about OnlyFans? Because it's behind a paywall.
I guess.
Is this from Timmy?
Yes. Tim Ackerman says, congratulations on your pregnancy.
By the way, I saw that and he thought I was pregnant for a second. He was like, I need a bigger, higher dose of Ozempic.
He said, do you still get any negative reactions from Star Wars nerds after all these years later?
It's been a couple years.
What happened? I think you told me about this.
So all I said, all I said was I'd never seen Star Wars because I've been too busy liking cool things and being attractive. And boy, like some super nerd. I also said that I don't want to see space nerds poking each other with their space nerd sticks. So those are the 2 things that I said. Said it on Red Eye back in the day. Nothing for a month. A month later, some like super nerd made a video of my comments and then fact checked me by like had like a slideshow of a bunch of like hot girls in Star Wars t-shirts. I got like death threats. I don't mean like you should die, bitch. I meant I got emails like I'm gonna be at your apartment in Brooklyn at 8 a.m. and there's nothing you can do. And like a lot of stuff about them wanting to violently with the lightsabers. Like I didn't get
but I was thinking, I was like, at least you know the weapon you're gonna die by.
Yeah, exactly. But it was like a bit.
So like swing, you're gonna hear like swing.
All the
like
things I've ever said, that was the biggest deal. Like
and
I
that
actually had to call
sums it
people
up perfectly.
Yes,
that sums it up. You guys are dorks. If you actually, and I'm gonna say this blanketly, if you don't think we're cool, you're a loser. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like, you didn't really make yourselves like make me feel bad about what I said.
Yeah,
like you didn't
I'm
make
like,
yourself look really cool by what I said.
Did you ever feel scared by the threats?
Well, I did have to like make a call because they were not killing me so much as like the ones that were threatening to hack my iCloud because I was like, I believe that you can do this
weird medical
all the pictures that I'm sending
we send to Dr. Drew.
Yeah, exactly. But then I wrote a column after that came out. Said that it was like I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
So I like tripled down and made fun of them more.
Yes, of course.
So I was like, you guys really?
And because that's what the world needs.
Yes.
I'm allowed to have an opinion. That's why I try to kink shame people a lot. Because I'm like, that's what keeps it cute.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
if you take the shame away from the kink, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a kink. It's just a regular thing you do. So I make fun of the foot fetish guys. I go, there you go.
Although now I think like kink people want to be like a protected class.
Yeah,
which
but
is
I
like
won't.
that's not.
If you're jerking off to my feet, I'm allowed to have my opinion on you jerking off to my feet.
See that's right. The First Amendment.
This is I'm allowed. Yeah, it's my free speech to tell you that I think you're a weirdo for jerking off to my feet.
There's a lot of people. It's like more common.
It's huge. It's huge. And they're getting Bold.
I didn't want to put my feet on my book cover for that reason, but they're on there because it looked really weird without them.
Sell your tickets.
Yeah, I'm like,
go on tour, bitch. Get
you
your
have
foot
to
tour.
pay for it though. Yeah, the
But
book.
that's how I feel. Yeah, blur this when I show.
Yeah, you should.
No, I'm just like, if Quentin Tarantino was like, I want to see your feet, I'd be like, let's go, daddy. Like, I don't give a shit. But it's like, I didn't.
And then are you on WikiFeet?
This is where it all began.
Okay.
I had no clue that foot fetishes were a thing that existed on this earth.
Yeah.
And then Carly Acquillo from when I was doing Girl Code, she was like, yeah, like WikiFeet's great. And I was like, WikiFeet. And she told me it was 2017. I'll never forget it. I go on. I'm like, these people are it's just regular pictures and they'll get like a toe.
Yeah.
I just had no clue it was a thing.
Yeah.
Your captions, pictures, putting them up. They had a picture of me and my ex-boyfriend. We both like broke our same feet. So it was like in a cast next to my ex-boyfriend. And they had that up, like an injured one.
I
They're
knew
like,
a guy
"Get
that had
better
a
soon."
cast thing. Like he was like into
No,
like
they love
crutches.
They love it. That's why they like the big boobs. Okay, they like big boobs. They like a damsel in distress. We can't run from them.
Yeah.
It's harder to run with big tits.
That's true. That's true. I didn't know about WikiFeet at first either. And like this, but then I learned and I started covering them up, whatever, they're on my book cover. But
Yeah.
some of these pictures, I'm like, there's a picture of me where my sandals, my toes are showing. I'm at Disneyland with my now dead mother. And I'm like, can we not jerk off to this picture
know,
with
of
my
my
dead
mommy?
mom in it? My mom who's dead.
Yeah, and by the way, she's a Christian. She doesn't want you jerking
Yeah,
off
just
to my
want you
feet.
jerking off to my feet. Like I hope she haunts. Like that would be a great movie.
Yeah.
Actually, like someone's dead mom who's in the WikiFeet picture haunts all the people.
Oh my God, that are
who
jerking
off to her daughter's
They're
feet.
great feet, though. They're very cute.
Thank you. I
What's
think
your
they're
rating?
I think it's a 4 points. I haven't checked in a while. I don't like
It
keep up
goes
with
up
it.
to 5, right? Yeah,
It was
'cause
like a
mine's-
4.5.
That's where I'm at too.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And look, I don't know. I guess I got full feet, but I think they get really, like my WikiFeet comments, they're very mad because I started pixelating my feet the second that I found that out. Not because I'm trying to get paid for it, but because like,
you just don't.
I'm just like, I didn't consent to this.
Yeah.
And you're not entitled, but they're so mad. They're so entitled. Like, how dare you keep these from them? Like, my feet, my choice.
That you're damn right about
My
that.
feet, my choice. I'm pro-choice, but girl. But it's not a real lull. You looked over. It's
What?
okay. I feel like you looked over like it was a lull,
Oh, I don't know.
but we're fine. I know. I want to ask you more questions though. I feel like you have such good takes on things. Do you have to leave after this?
No, I have a flight and like
A red eye. You're such
yeah,
a gangster.
Like midnight.
Pregnant bitch on a red eye.
Dude, it's gonna be the tour.
Do you have
gonna
lay
be tough.
down?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. If I didn't have a leg,
I'm with child.
I would be horrible.
No, even just like, yeah, the regular first class sitting up on a red eye. It's
Yeah.
Like, do you
Well, I'm
respect
gonna have to
yourself?
do that. I'm touring until the middle of December. I'm gonna be huge and pregnant.
Yeah.
And my husband's coming with me. Cam's coming to a lot of the dates. He was like, just so she has someone to yell at. I'm
Oh.
like, babe, you know me so well.
Do you guys come? Do you go with her? Yeah.
Yeah, he'll come to a few.
And then is it just straight stand up?
I have like a slideshow involved too,
Mm.
but like every slide has like a punchline.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like
so fun.
You know, it's like a few just kind of like, oh, look at this picture, but also stand up too.
Yeah.
And then there's an interview about
You're
the
going to be
book.
that sitting down bitch. 'Cause
Dude,
you're
I
so
don't know.
pregnant, you're like,
I'm gonna try so hard to not,
yeah.
but I mean, I don't know how much I got big. Like I look bigger than 4 months.
You're
or whatever.
just little.
Yeah, but
Is
like
what it is.
it's kind of crazy.
No, it's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird what's happening.
It's very weird what's happening, and I hate when people are like, "Don't or do we only talk about is being?" I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's the first time this happened to me. It's all encompassing. I can't have nicotine. I can't have Vyvanse.
It's
You
just,
know?
and it's men saying that.
Yeah, some
Right.
women,
It's
but
women.
men too.
But are they women with kids?
I don't know, or they're just women who, yeah. Some of them no, some of them yes, some of them people just. They just
Well,
wanna
everyone's
hate
triggered
you.
by everything.
Yeah,
Everyone's triggered. Like
I get when I see myself, I get startled. I don't think I'll ever be.
it
used
is
to
shocking.
It.
It's so weird. But I
I'm
feel
like,
that with there was this woman that lived in our building and she was so pregnant and she would be walking her dog around. She was so hot. She was like this beautiful, like model pregnant bitch. She was so pregnant and I would like see her and I'm like, I want to like not bring it up because I feel like she's going through it and I want to just like pretend I don't see it. And then I was like, after she had the kid, I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever done. She'd be like, are you okay? Do you need
Yeah.
it? Are you all right?
Yeah, it's weird though. It's like the greatest thing happened to me though the other day like 2 days ago I was out and I had like my jacket was like here and I was just like this and a guy like hit on me and I was like I'm pregnant and he was like me too like a good one. It was really good, but he got really uncomfortable, which was awesome.
Yeah, but there's like pregnancy fetish people too.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing is it's like I feel like I'm getting practice for what it's like to be like an old lady.
Yeah,
because people aren't like attracted to it unless they have that weird fetish.
Do you feel hotter?
I don't at all. I feel like hideous, but like, you know, my husband thinks I'm like the hottest thing ever, but he always does. But I feel like it's startling. It's weird. Like, I'm like, where's my little waist that I've had always?
And then as a woman, you now have this other role that you're not, and it is weird because it's not like you're not like an OnlyFans girl. You're not like going out there and being like, look at me or whatever, even though these bitches are saying your skirts are short or whatever. But it's like, it is weird when you're like, you grow up in the male gaze and it's not that you did it on purpose or whatever. It's just sort of like, I don't know. And we like wear makeup and we're cute and all that stuff. And then you're like, wait, because I'm 41. I'm like, this is going to go away. Like, this is going to be weird. I'm just going to have a new role as a person on this earth.
I know. I like can't even think about that. I can't even like think about it.
It's not a thing I asked for, you know what I mean? And you're just like, oh.
Because you just get used to it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, who am I? Like how, like I think, I'm thinking like, how can I be getting old? Like I was so young for so long.
Yeah.
Like how can I be?
Oh, I was always the youngest of and now I'm like, well, Todd's 11 years younger than me. So that is definitely,
so
I always say I can't wait to grow old in front of him.
In front of him. I mean, I feel Cam's only 2 years older, so I feel like that's like me being older.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody always gets like men that are like 10 years older.
Yeah, and then I have like really cool friends, female friends in their 50s, and then I have ones that are freaking out. I have different kinds, yeah. So it's good. It's good to have the range, I guess.
They're freaking out.
Well, it's like one's like snapping at me like, you'll understand when you're my age, and I'm like, what? But I'm like, but I will understand. But I will. But you remember what you were like this time. So
yeah.
But I'm like, I can't be your age, but you can remember what you were my age. So you do have to do the heavy lifting of this part. I can. I will. And I will come to you at that time and I'll go, I know exactly what you mean.
I know what you're talking about.
And you can teach me how it feels. Can't know. And then I have other friends that are like, it's the best, like menopause, you don't give a fuck about men anymore. You're like, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I hear that like when you go through menopause, you lose the hormones that allow you to put up with men.
Yeah. See, I've heard that too.
That's why they become lesbians.
Yeah, I've heard that. So that's why everybody's gay when they're in menopause.
They're just like, oh.
I mean, I can't.
But we have,
I can't imagine.
We have a good voice.
I do. I really do. I'm like, Cam's the best.
He never is a problem. I've never had a problem with Todd.
No, I've never had a problem.
He's like
with Cam.
not. And the problems we have when we get to the bottom of them are really just I'm on my period.
The problem.
I'm like getting my period in 2 days. Every time I go, and it's my period.
It's like, it's like always my fault.
It's it's never been Todd.
I'm always just unhinged. I needed attention.
Yeah.
And it's like my period. Or now like my hormones are completely out of control. And
there's one thing Todd did wrong. He didn't go to the appointment I set him up to get his TSA pre-check. And now he has to wait in the long line. And that's the biggest thing he's ever done. That was a problem.
That is tough though.
It's disgusting.
The no TSA.
And then sometimes I'm like, I guess I'll wait in the line with you.
Yeah.
Take my shoes. Well, I guess you don't have to, you get the thing. But I'm like, with these regular people that didn't go get their appointment at the Staples. It's at Staples.
Yeah.
Can't go to Staples.
So he still doesn't have TSA pre-check?
He didn't have it. So disgusting. Can you still continue the podcast?
No,
do you have to go?
I'm out of here.
It's actually over.
I didn't have TSA pre-check actually before I met Cam though.
Isn't it disgusting when you realize what a better life it is? You're like, what the was I doing?
Now?
And it's not even that much. I think it was like $70.
Yeah. It's really, really cheap.
I don't want everyone to know that because the line's going to get longer.
And then he made me get, I had global entry.
I got to get global entry.
That's amazing. But I mean, it's like the TSA because people like they never flew before in their entire life.
Well, it's comfort while flying is so important when you do what we do.
Yes.
It's crazy. So how long did it take you to write this?
Like 6 months, probably.
And are you like, you're waking up and you're like, tip, tap, tap, tap?
Yeah, I wrote a lot of it in green rooms and because you know it's like being on tour. It's like so much downtime.
Yeah,
it's like you're always moving, but you're like or like you're in a car for hours, or you're on a plane, or you're in a lounge.
But is your set on the road that you were doing for your first book was that completely like word for word, kind of always the same thing, but just you would?
Yeah, mostly.
So you didn't have to focus. You had that down, so you didn't have to focus on that performance. You could kind of like,
yes.
you could be in the moment and do it.
By the end of it, yes.
Yeah. So you could focus on a new project and
exactly.
it didn't feel like.
By the end of it, yes. I mean, now when I'm going out on the road now, it's like I've been getting up a lot, you know, in New York, and like we're trying out new things and all that kind of stuff. But the show that I do at the beginning of the tour will probably be different than the one at the end.
Right.
So things end.
It evolves, yeah, of course.
It does end up always evolving, and then depending on who's there, what happens, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just working on it then because it's like there's so much downtime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not drinking, then like your people you just hung over on tour. Like, you know, I've been on tour with people who drink, and it's like they just
yeah. But sometimes I'm just laying in my bed. I don't drink, but I'm like sometimes
I watch
my
a
tours
lot.
just,
I watch a lot of Forensic Files. Like I watch a lot of like shit
but
TV.
I just got so done. I'm like, I saw every Forensic Files.
Yeah, I did too.
You start watching the repeats. You're like, this is getting rude.
And then you feel bad because you're like, oh, I already saw this one.
Yeah,
You're like, wait, I
like
said
her.
that about like somebody.
And then sometimes you're like, can you find a hotter one? Sometimes like, I need a hotter corpse.
I mean, so yeah. I mean, it's gonna be. I'm excited to go back out there though. I'm excited.
And then okay, so you wrote the book. You send it to your publisher. Do you have to do like a million rewrites?
Yeah, I have to do a lot of edits. A lot of people don't write their books. Like a lot of people don't write their books.
Feel it.
You can tell. And I was a writer before I ever got on TV. So it's like I think it's the thing I'm the best at. So I wrote the whole thing, and then I got the book deal, and then I had my editor gives me advice like this chapter could actually be broken apart and moved to other ones and stuff like that. So I have to do edits. You only have like 2 weeks to do all that, and then you rewrite
ever
it a few
think
times.
they're wrong though, or you have
you
to
can
do
say
what they
no.
say? Yeah.
You don't have to do what they say, but a lot of times it's helpful.
Do you start with the index or whatever?
The chapter titles and stuff. Like no, I can kind of come up with that as I go.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Aw, this one's for the boys.
Oh yeah. I dedicated the book to my dad and my husband.
Her dad, her husband. She also sent it to Annie Lederman, which is so weird. We really haven't hung out that much. Flattered.
How weird.
So cute. What a psycho. You should get them for every person's thing you do.
Every podcast, just get like a fake page
God,
in there.
Funny that would
Make
be.
people feel so uncomfortable.
But you would have to play it out,
Oh.
and only the people that are like full Kat fans will know because they'll have watched every single. And you'll have to just deal with the fact that everyone thinks you're a weirdo. That's just on the
and
fan
just
base
smiling.
of the person.
And hopefully they wouldn't see it till like or at the beginning, because that would destroy the entire.
Oh, it'd be so good. Like, oh, thanks for coming in. But is there anything else you want the fans to know?
No, I mean, just read the book. It's a good book. It's a fun book to read.
I'm gonna read it. I actually don't read, and I'm
excited for you to read it. And you know, come to my shows, and I don't know. This is like great. We gotta hang out too.
I know.
We have to
I
like
hang out with you. I will still be your friend when you have a kid too.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna have to talk to you about it a bunch because I'm so weird about the whole thing.
No, please, because like I love to answer questions because it's weird to me.
Am I gonna be too old? Am I too old? Do you have kids? You don't have kids? Amazing. I love this bitch.
You have frozen ones, so like that's.
But do I have them or not?
They're frozen.
But is it weird? But still, am I gonna be? Because my dad was 41 when he had me, and I thought he was the oldest parent that ever existed. And I realized if I do have kids, I will be older than my dad was.
Yeah, but again, that could be the trauma.
Oh my God. I know they're gonna be like,
wait till you're like
dying.
50. Wait till you're like 50 and they get one put in. And then
I want to wait until men can have babies because I want Todd to have it.
that's like the thing that sucks is because I know Cam would do it for me, but he can't.
He would do it. He'd be so good at it.
Yeah.
He has all these snakes and stuff. He's so good at taking care of things.
Yeah,
he makes the temperature right for all the reptiles, and he's spraying down their thing. Like he's doing everything.
It does suck. Like I'm not like I think a lot of people don't talk much about how bad it is.
I know, but Whitney is like weird. And Whitney was. Have you ever met Whitney? By the
Never
way?
met her. No.
Oh shit, that is a good one. You guys together should meet. And are you doing Rogan soon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
What's the date of that?
Like next week.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yay! Yeah. That's gonna be really cool. You're gonna crush.
I hope so.
You don't have to tell anyone because this table will be like right there.
Yeah, like I bet she's like, wow, she got a boob
This
job.
girl's got big ass kids.
They are huge.
That's gonna be fun. You haven't done Rogan before. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm excited.
Yay. Yeah, no, I can't wait to hang out with you more.
I know. You're the best.
You look great.
Thank you.
You look hot.
Thank
You're
you.
hot, Mom.
Thank you.
She's a MILF. All right, guys, get the book. I used to like you until you got pregnant and alienated me. You're scared to have kids, bitch friend. All right, thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm scared to have kids too.
Anyone's gonna save the world, yeah. When everything's burning, their voices keep returning, bringing us together, making it all better. Anyone's a calling, catch us when we're falling. Turn the volume high, questions soaring to the sky. Anyone's the way, brighter every day. And when you feel alone, hope is being shown in every single word. Our stories will be heard. We're breaking down the walls, yeah, show 'em what they want. Laugh until we fall, we're speaking for us all. And it's undeniable, this force is reliable. Anyone's gonna save the world, yeah. When everything's burning, their voices keep returning, bringing us together, making it all better. Anyone's the calling, catch us when we're falling. With every beat, every word, a revolution's heard from the world's every corner. We're getting stronger. Anyone's gonna save the world, yeah. When everything's burning, their voices keep returning, bringing us together, making it all better. Anyone's a calling, catch us when we're falling.
Oh, Randy, how did you feel about today's episode? Was it good? Did you like it? Did you like it outside? Did you like it like a puppuccino? Puppuccino? Did you like a puppuccino? Did you like a puppuccino?